Welcome. So today we're going to go quickly over all of the changes and new features that have been, that I've seen today in the DPHX Unpack and Load tool since the first video, since the first tutorial video that I released when it was 5 months ago. So there was a lot of changes since then. So we're gonna go over each of them. I won't go back into what I was talking about in the tutorial. So I will leave a link for this tutorial for those who would wish to know a little more about what is the DPHX Unpack and Load tool, what it is, what are the DPHX files, where to find them, and all of that, and what's the purpose of the tool. So I'm gonna leave a link in the description, and you'll be able to see that by yourself. All right. Right now we're gonna concentrate on the new stuff that have been added. So first thing I'm gonna do is go into settings. Like in the first video, I was talking about the settings, and the settings window has changed a bit. It has evolved. I've added two new folders. I think, yeah, two new folders. Previously there was only the XESOR task folder, and somebody asked me about the maps folder for XESOR. Yeah, why not? Because it might be included with the DPHX package. So I said, yeah, the tool could handle the map folder because it doesn't go in the same folder. It's not required to go in the same folder, two different folders. So I've added that. You can specify your maps folder for XESOR. Again, if you don't use XESOR, it doesn't really matter. And I've added also the NB21 log flights folder. More and more people flying, soaring and gliding in flight sim are using the fantastic, I would say fantastic NB21 logger. So it creates log files when you fly. And we'll see why I've included that folder here with all the flights that you have that has been recorded. Why do I include that in the Unpack and Load tool? Because it's not included in a DPHX file, obviously, because it's created while you fly, after the flight. But you'll see that, you'll understand why when we come to this button here, the B21 planner button after a flight. You'll see why it's so useful. All right. Other stuff that have changed in this window are these little the trash can and the checkbox here. When you do an unpack, it copies the files in the various folders, and when you do a cleanup, it cleans them out. It cleans them up, so it removes them from the folders. You can have the tool, exclude flight plans, for example, or a category of file. Well, let's say you want to keep all your flight plans. You don't want them to be cleaned up. You just click there, and it's gonna exclude it. It won't. Cleaning up will not remove the flight plan. Same thing for the weather preset. If you want to keep it in your weather presets folder, just click and it's gonna exclude the weather file. Same thing for XESOR. If you use them again, you could exclude the cleanup of the task or the maps. See here, I did selected to exclude the maps, even though I don't have a folder right now. I used to have one, and the maps are pretty useful. You might fly again in the same area, so why why not keep the map? So I selected back then to keep the map, so exclude them. Right now it doesn't really matter because I don't have any folder set. I'm not using XESOR so much nowadays. And the trash can is to actually, I use that. I added that because I had folder and I stopped using the XESOR, and it was still copying the files to a folder. It was searching for the folder. It was trying to copy the file to the folder. So you can, if you have one and you stop using XESOR, you can just click here and it's going to delete any folder that you may have selected, specified here. Like for the NB21 logger flights, for example, let's say I'm going to keep I'm gonna open a window so I can have it back. But let's say I stop using NB21 and the folder isn't good anymore. I would just do that. Then it will stop, using any NB21 folders, logger actually. I copied the paste just before, so I'm going to put it back. All right. So that's why the trash can is there, is to tell the tool that you're not using the folder anymore. You don't need the folder anymore. There was no way to select to unselect or to remove a folder before. So this has been added. Okay, that's for the settings. The interface has changed a bit because it's now, instead of buttons, it's a kind of a menu bar or toolbar, and I've added also a support menu here. What these do is you can go directly to the support channel on Discord. So if you click there, it's going to bring you to the support channel for the tool on my Discord. And same thing for the feedback channel. It will bring you to the feedback channel. And if you don't have access to my server yet because you found the tool on flightsim.to, for example, then you will need an invite. You just click on the third one and it's going to copy the Discord invite link. You can use that in Discord to join my server. All right, and then you can use both here. Same thing for the task library. That's another button that has been added here. You'll see when we have a file open, the task library will bring you to that specific task. But if you don't have any task open and you click, it's going to bring you to the task library on my Discord again. So the latest, inside the flights channel under task library. Again, you need to be to have joined. If you have a message that you don't have access to the Discord, again, you just click here, copy Discord, and you'll join the server, and then you'll have access to the task library. Another thing that has changed, that's been added, is the file browser. Okay, the file browser. What this does is kind of it's used as a cleaning tool actually. Every folders that you've set in the settings, they are here in tabs. Okay, all of them, except even the NB21 is here. So all of them are here, and you can see, the files, for example, flight plans. You will see all the PLN files that are in the folder, all of them. Sometimes you forget to do the cleanup after a flight, or you copied some manually, and if your folder, becomes a mess and you have tons and tons of flight plans, you can see all of them here, and you can select all, delete. You can do a multi-select, select 1, 2, anything, and just do delete. So it can you're gonna get confirmation. So if you want to delete, and if you say yes, then it's gonna remove all of them. Okay. Same thing for weather. If you have loads and loads of WPR files and you want to do some cleanup, then just select the ones you want to remove, or select them all and delete them. Packages would be if I have DPHX files in a folder, you could also do a cleanup of DPHX file here if you want to remove some of them. All the logs that have been created when you fly, all the logs that are created, you will see them here. So if you want, again, to do a cleanup, you can select them and delete. And same thing for XCSOR task and maps. Since I don't have folders selected in my settings for these, I see nothing. I see no path selected, so I see no files, of course. Nothing to clean here. So that's it for the kind of file browser or cleaning tool. Pretty useful to do cleanup when your folders are getting a little crowded. All right. I think we're ready to open a file. The units haven't changed, so yeah, I'm gonna open a file here. I'm gonna open this one. All right, this is one that we flew yesterday, and I have a log file to show you. So bit of change here and there to on the formats, and then short description have been had and stuff like that. Nothing really important. The same features from before in the main task info. Map hasn't changed. Also, it's still the same thing. Event info, I think I've added the description, something like that down there, but it's basically all of the same thing. Images hasn't changed. All waypoints has changed a bit because now there's support for AAT tasks. So if a waypoint is an AAT waypoint gate, then it will have a checkbox, so you can see that this has been defined as an AAT waypoint. But apart from that, everything is the same. The weather has changed a lot since the tutorial. Now the weather can be displayed as the old tables. That's the old tables that were there since the beginning. And now you can have a graphical display of winds and clouds layer. So there's a bunch of things here. You can see it's kind of a scale of the wind strength from 26 knots to 0, and same thing for the density of the cloud from 0 to 5. So that's the color of the bars inside, the little clouds inside. That will indicate the density of the cloud. There's the coverage and the scattered information is also kind of displayed depending on how the bars are randomly spread. Then that's the scattered, and the coverage will be how much it's going to cover the whole block. So you can kind of see all of the visual representation of what the clouds are. And of course the blocks are spread depending on the altitude that the clouds layer are. All right, and the wind is pretty similar. We're gonna have the altitude for the wind layer, and the degrees, the direction, and the strength of the wind information. So you can see visually, really fast what you can expect as wind and cloud in that task, in the weather profile that has been provided with this task. And you have other information like temperature and barometric pressure in both units, imperial or metric, the aerosol index, the date that you will be flying, that the task has been set to, and the name of the weather profile. Okay, that's a big thing that has changed in the tool is that weather graphical display. Add-ons doesn't change, and units I didn't change also. So you would before a flight, you load up this DPHX file, you unpack. So it says which files have been copied. I have no destination for XC-sort task, so it's not been copied, right? And so it says all the files, flight plan and weather file, are present in their respective folders. So you have a check like this. If for whatever reason you remove, okay, let's say I'm gonna remove the weather profile. Okay, I'm gonna play with it by manually, or something happened and you delete this file. What happens here? You're gonna get a warning when you open the DPHX. You would get a warning. It checks now the exact content of the file. So if the file is still there but is different, you'll also get a warning that says only 1 out of 2 files are present, the flight plan, and the missing file is the weather file. So you can click Unpack again, and it copies the files again. So you're up to date. Okay, so you get a list of what are the files that are there, if they are present. If you have a green check mark like that, it's you're fine. You're all good to go. So yeah, you'd go fly, and let's say you want to. There's a button here. You can go onto the discussion thread for if you want to leave a feedback, or if you want to leave your results for screenshots or stuff for that task. You can click this, and it's going to bring you to the task thread. That's the thread. So you can go down and post your screenshot, post your results, and post your feedback you want to leave about that flight. You have that directly into the tool integrated here. Okay, it's about the same. If you click task library here, you're gonna also go directly to that flight. Okay, but not in the thread, but the flight entry in the task library. The thread is here. That's the flight, and the thread is here. the same thing I showed you. Okay, that's two ways of going to the task that is related to the DPHX file that you have here. And finally, I flew this yesterday, so I have a log file. I showed you the log file in the file browser here. I have a log file for that flight. The way it works, it looks for the exact the flight plan name, and that's the way NB21 works actually. When it creates the IGC file, the log file, it uses the name of the flight plan. So the cool thing about the B21 planner here button is that it's gonna open up B21 planner and it's gonna load up everything. It's gonna load up the flight plan. Let's go into I know, a satellite view here. Google terrain. Yeah, you can see the black. So it's gonna load up the flight plan, the task itself. So that's the red line that you see here with all the waypoints. It's gonna load that. It's gonna load the weather also, so you can see where the wind was is going. And if you have IGC files, if you have flown the task many times, and you have like 2, 3, 4, 5 IGC files for each of these, the times that you flew the task, it will bring all of them, so you can compare them. If you download IGC files from other users and put them in your folder, and you are in B21 log folder, it's gonna load up all of the all of these files, the log files, and it's gonna load them load them up in NB21 without you having to load any files manually. It's done automatically. Let's go at it again just to show you how it's done. So what I did is B21 planner, and there you go. You have the task, you have the weather, and you have the track logs that have been loaded with it. You can have the results also of each track like that. Track logs. So that's the cool thing about this B21 planner button here. Pretty useful. All right, that's about it. I think I've covered all of the changes and new features. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna download the video from Twitch and put that on YouTube with the link to the original tutorial, so you can review also what is the DPHX Unpack and Load, because I didn't cover that in this video. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.